Welcome to the Farmcast.
Did you know there was a guy named Hubert Humphrey who ran for president?
I don't like him.
Not a fan.
Okay. Let's get this show on the road. We are back, and we are ready
There was a guy named Michael Dukakis who ran for president.
That's a great name. That's a great
I'm
name.
done.
You got my vote.
President Dukakis. Oh, man. Why are you looking at presidents?
Shut up, you'll find out.
We are back, and we are, this time, back with another list. We're going to be ranking the top 3 and bottom 3 states, because we're opinionated people. We like lists. You, the listener, likes lists. And we want to tell you what are good states and what are bad states.
Objectively
That
speaking.
is the point.
We are setting the record straight of where you can and can't live. So yeah, let's just head right into it. I'm going to kick it off with my top 3 states. Number 1, objectively, honestly, I don't even think there's a close second for what the best state is. It's Wisconsin. Obviously,
Preach.
Biased. Spent a lot of time in Wisconsin, from Wisconsin. But I just, even looking at it from taking a step back, I don't know many states that can hold their weight with Wisconsin. And there's a couple reasons why. So we're on Lake Michigan, so we get a body of water. That's fucking awesome. We've got an incredible sports culture here, where we've got the Packers, the Bucks, Brewers, and some people like the Badgers.
And the Admirals.
And the Wave. A lot of different sports teams. Along with that, we get all the seasons. There's a lot of shit going on around, winters are bad. Yeah, they suck. Fucking get over it.
Hey, and I would also add to that, you got to experience the lows of the winter to really, really appreciate that first crack of spring, summer kicking into full swing.
Absolutely.
It makes it all more worth it. It puts everything into perspective.
Yeah, no, that's exactly it too. Like, tomorrow when it's like 50 degrees, holy shit, best day ever. Sun's out. Oh, it is amazing. And we're lucky. I do think we hate snow because we've had it for so long, but I think we are, there's a lot of people who go crazy when they see their first snow. And I think that's just something worth noting, is like a lot of people are really into that. Plus, fall is beautiful. We get an amazing, still hot as hell summer. The seasons really are great, even though I have to bitch about snow for a little bit. On top of that, focus on Milwaukee. I think it's one of the best cities, really, in the country. I would go, and I know, again, a little biased, but the nature incorporated in the city, where it has this, it almost has like it's a big enough city to have the best team in the NBA, but it's also small enough that I could run into someone I know out at the bars if I went out by myself or something. And that's just like a culture I don't think many cities have. But yeah, I really think Wisconsin, and even taking a step back, I don't think there's many states that come close to Wisconsin. Especially, I do love Wisconsin people. Very passionate about the place. So yeah, that is number 1 by far. Number 2. I have Kentucky. I think Kentucky is a great state. I think they have great weather there. And specifically, I'm basing it off a trip I had when I went down there to Louisville. It was a tremendous vacation. It was great. The people are there, super nice, clean city. Love the food they had. And again, the weather, like, it's not too hot or anything, but it's like a cozy weather, and I really just liked my experience there. So I'm really basing it off of Louisville, but it's up there. It's very similar to Milwaukee of a city, and it's not too surrounded by land. I hate cities that are like completely on land and don't have a body of water. They do have a river that goes through it, so I like that. Number 3.
Oh, wait, hold on. I was going to add about Kentucky. I had to drive through. Have you drove through Kentucky, or where is Louisville? That's like close to.
It's by the border.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
North,
driving
south, east, west.
I think north. Yeah.
Okay.
Driving through Kentucky, it's beautiful. Just like rolling hills, the
bet.
entire entire way through.
You get to the east side, you get a little bit of mountains too.
Yeah, because even just going straight south, because I was going to Nashville for a rugby tournament, and just driving through it was super pretty. Like, it just looked, everything was like pure green, just rolling hills everywhere.
Well, and that brings up a question. So for somebody who's never visited the apparently great state of Kentucky, what color is the grass? Is it green or is it blue?
It's green.
It's, yep,
I'm here
grass
to
is green.
dispel that myth. It's green.
Okay, thank you.
I didn't even know.
How many slaves did Colonel Sanders own?
Well, okay.
Okay. We're talking about modern day Kentucky, everyone.
Okay.
We're gonna set the record straight. Wow.
Well,
Holy shit.
I got some history for my
Holy
states.
fuck. Oh my god. Wow. Oh fuck, that was heavy. Yeah, other than that, Kentucky, nice place. I have not drove through it, I'm sure.
Other than the
nature-
slaves, pretty good.
God, yeah.
I
Imagine
don't
enjoying
like where
a
this
state
is
like
going.
this. Couldn't be me.
Yeah, no kidding. Number 3, not a southern state, so don't worry, Kyle. We've got, this one might be a hot take because I think the cities in this state get a hard rep, but I'm going with Pennsylvania.
Okay.
I really like Philadelphia. I had a great time when I visited there. It's another city where I felt similar aspects to Milwaukee, and that's just that.
Why did you go to Philadelphia?
I was just taking a trip out east where I just went to like Philadelphia, New York, Boston. I just hit up all the east side.
Okay.
So I've been all on the East Coast, but I haven't really touched the West Coast. But I love my time there. And they've also got Pittsburgh as well. And I just think those are two nice cities. And that's enough for me to be like, yeah, fuck it. It's a good state. So yeah, Pennsylvania, my
And they have
number 3.
And they have Hershey, Pennsylvania. I went there for a trip with my girlfriend and her family, and that city's
Sick.
super cool. Hey,
Oh,
it
I bet,
is.
yeah.
The city is super cool, like super clean, like very organized. It looked like a lot of history too, and it's
Did
very
you
like.
run track?
I did not run track. No,
Don't they have a big track
Oh.
tournament there?
no, it's like
What?
I know what you're saying. Yeah, like
It's
Hershey.
like a
Okay,
massive track field.
There's like a
track and field tournament.
yeah. So there's like the Hershey track meet, which goes like throughout the nation at different events. Like I remember now that you said that, I remember.
Yeah,
Because
Yeah,
there's
that's a thing.
a
Is this
track
common
meet.
knowledge?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I guess
it's like a
so.
youth
Yeah,
track meet.
it really is. Yeah.
Yeah, like they had one in Sheboygan for like the longest time. I probably still do. And you would,
Sheboygan
like,
and
go
Hershey,
to-
Pennsylvania. You can't help but mix them up.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a nationwide thing, Pate.
Yeah, seriously.
I had no idea what this was a thing, but I think that adds to my case.
Yep, definitely does.
So I'm just going to run down my top 3 again. Number 1, Wisconsin. Number 2, Kentucky. And number 3, Pennsylvania. And those are your definitive top 3.
All right, before Kyle says his, this is going to be the correct list of top states, so no one can argue with them. Just take it as fact.
Well, there you go.
Wow, okay, that's a ringing endorsement. Thank you. I wasn't expecting that, but I'll take the compliment. So we'll kick mine off in a pretty familiar place.
Yep.
My number 1 is also Wisconsin.
Absolutely.
Wisconsin is a wonderful state, and I don't think we even brought up one of the best parts is that we have 3 MVPs actually
Yep.
in Wisconsin.
Yep.
Not a lot of small states, let alone large states, can boast the same thing. So
Yep.
I think that is one of the best things about Wisconsin. We have great sports teams, loyal fans, and great people that make up those fan bases.
One thing when you were like, you didn't mention this, I thought you were going to be like, we have the water park capital of the world.
Oh, we do. But
Noah's
I'll
Ark.
save that. We'll save that for later. I
Okay,
think
gotcha, yeah.
Mr. Jake has something to say about
Yeah.
that. But yeah, Wisconsin, great. That's my number 1.
Absolutely.
I won't retread any of your points. My number 2 is going to be went a little off the beaten path. Went with Oregon. It's
Okay.
got Portland. I think
Yeah.
Portland's a cool city. It's got a lot of hipsters in it. It's a pretty alt kind of thing. Damian Lillard plays there, in case you didn't know. He's a famous rapper. And yeah, it's very cool. One of the first places to legalize the devil's lettuce.
Yep.
That's another plus for it.
Oh,
So, yeah.
disgusting.
And it's like Washington, except it doesn't have Seattle in it. So I think that's a plus also. I think we can
What's so bad about Seattle?
I just still hate the Seahawks.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, fair enough.
And-
As
and-
soon as I said
and
that, as
about
soon
the-
as I said it, I was like, "Yep, Seahawks are there."
Not only that, I still have bad memories of about 2010, 12, 13, when there was all the rumors swirling around about the Bucks.
Oh.
The Bucks should leave Milwaukee, become the Supersonics again. I
don't
hated
remember that.
shit. Oh, that was a
And-
big thing.
Yeah. And on top of that, every time the Seahawks play in like a primetime game or they're in Seattle for whatever reason, they always have to have a segment about throwing the fish. You gotta throw the fish.
And you have to play as much grunge music as you can
Yep.
because you can't have Seattle without grunge. Okay, this is top list. We won't get too negative.
yeah.
And my number 3, I went with Colorado because
Okay.
it has some cool scenery, a lot of mountains. I think it's kind of synonymous a little bit of a sister state to Wisconsin. It's got similar climates, a lot of interesting and fun winter activities that you can.
They
be
both
doing.
have mountains.
They both have mountains, and I think they also have some cool sports teams to root for too. Because I think the Rockies are a cool ass team playing in Coors Field. I like the Nuggets. I like the way they built the team. There's Broncos.
I don't like the Broncos.
We're not going there, but
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad. I like
Hey,
Denver.
you forgot the Avalanche.
You're
Yes.
right, and I will
The
forget about
Avalanche
that
are sick,
10
to be
seconds
fair.
from now. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah. They would have been. I feel like I would have had them in my top 3. I just haven't been to Colorado yet, but I really want to go to Denver. Sounds like a
Kyle,
cool
have
place.
you been to Colorado or Oregon?
No, but they're on the list. Plan on going.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so to round it out, we got Wisconsin, Oregon, and Colorado.
Okay. I will state my list next. It is not going to seem very original now, but I have Wisconsin number 1.
What?
The only notes I had written down about it were Christian Yelich, Giannis, and Aaron Rodgers.
That's all you need.
But that's enough for me. So
I literally just had written down 3 MVPs. That was my notes.
and like Zach said, like it honestly, you get the best of like all the seasons.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So
And on top of that, I think we have some of the best food, like original. I mean, you think about all of like the shit that's tied to Wisconsin: Culver's, Bloody Marys, Old Fashions. Like we've got some
also,
good shit.
our hometown Sheboygan is not only the freshwater fishing capital of the world, but the freshwater surfing capital,
Oh,
Yes,
yeah, it is.
Yes, it
which
is.
is very cool.
Yeah, Chicken Joe.
Little tip in the cap for Sheboygan, Wisconsin. Shout out
Chicken Joe
Sheboygan,
in the movie
Wisconsin.
Surfs Up is from Sheboygan.
Sheboygan
That is a
mentioned.
fun fact for you.
Sheboygan is mentioned in Criminal Minds.
Home
It is
Alone.
mentioned in Home Alone. It is
Yep.
mentioned in That 70s Show. Sheboygan, low-key, a very popular place.
It really is.
Usually for not great reasons.
Yeah. George
Yeah, I
Bush
think, like-
stayed in Blue Harbor.
Wow.
That's another fun
How,
Sheboygan.
What?
how blessed.
Hey,
Yeah.
Sheboygan also has the tallest flagpole in America.
After Hugh Hefner
Hey.
came to what
No.
Club Michigan, about
Yeah,
2
yeah.
weeks after Hugh Hefner visited Club Michigan, he died. So
Had to hit his bucket list before he
It used to have an NBA team.
yeah, it did.
The
Which
Sheboygan
are now the
R
Lakers, right?
No, it was the Redskins.
Well, I know, but I thought then that team moved to Minnesota, which then became. the
I
Los
don't know
Angeles
I don't know
Lakers.
the deep lore, but I just knew
Okay.
that it was a thing.
Becker said the tallest flagpole in America, but flagpole, but you're not saying it right. It's as they say, the largest display of freedom.
The symbol of freedom.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yes,
true. That's
yes.
true.
We, as many people know, we are the only country that is free, so that's very
People
nice.
do forget that.
Yeah.
America, very free.
On to my
Depends
next,
who you ask.
on to my next one. I have. I also had Colorado. I visited there like 3 years ago. I had never really seen mountains before, and I know other states have mountains, but I haven't been to those states. It is very jaw-dropping if you haven't seen a mountain in real life. It like literally almost takes your breath away. People are all super nice. You can smoke weed on your front deck, which is super cool. I don't partake anymore,
Super dope,
unfortunately. Yeah, super cool. The vibes. Oh, the vibes.
Oh.
I also went to go see a playoff game last year between the Brewers and the Rockies, and Coors Field is dope as hell.
Yes, it is.
So,
A lot of dongs leaving.
Oh.
that park.
a lot of dingers. Love to see it. Number 3, I have Washington State. So sorry, Kyle.
Pathetic.
But I do have some stats to back it up.
Okay.
It is number 4 in the country in healthcare and education, number 3 in,
Then you
in
should
strength
really
of
hate
economy,
that,
and number 2 in infrastructure. So,
Infrastructure.
other than that, never been there. Had a hard time coming up with a third state. Washington
Amen.
seems pretty good.
Okay, I mean that's fair. It's interesting you said that because Amazon's headquarters is in Seattle.
Weird how they would have a strong economy.
Yeah, but all on the backs of minimum wage workers.
Your boy working hard Bezos out there.
Jeff Bezos.
Yeah,
You
or
know,
Kyle would say,
every order on Amazon is actually shipped by Jeff Bezos
He
himself.
sends it out for you. So it's for Kyle.
It's really nice of him.
Yeah, kind guy.
Becker?
All right, so my top 3. I haven't been to any of these states, but I think they're cool. So I'm going to go with number 1, Colorado. I think Colorado is pretty much another version of Wisconsin, just more mountains. They have like all the seasons, a lot of winter activities you can do, and I just think I've never seen mountains before in my life, so I think seeing mountains would just be like the coolest experience. There's a lot of outdoor activities like hiking and whatnot you can do, skiing,
And there are mountains and lakes there.
yeah,
I'm
mountains,
all aboard.
mountains and lakes. So I could pick up skiing or try it at least. I've never done that before, so I can really do a lot out in Colorado. Number 2, I'm also going to side with Al and say Washington. I think the scenery, from pictures I've seen and videos, I think the scenery is super cool. You can a lot of outdoor activities, like you can do like more hiking. You can like go kayaking. You can really do that anywhere. But
Kayaking?
yeah,
I don't want to butt in here and steal your thunder, but this is something I completely forgot. Like the redwood forest is always something
yeah.
I've dreamed of seeing. The pictures of those trees absolutely blow my mind.
Just seeing that stuff in Planet Earth makes me just want to go there and like experience it for myself. So
And Amazon's headquarters.
and Amazon, can't forget
love
my
Washington.
favorite.
that
I would
on
love to meet Jeff Bezos.
And then my number 3, I'm surprised it wasn't on anyone else's list. It's kind of a cop-out answer, but I'm going to say Hawaii.
That is a cop-out answer.
It is.
Boo.
I think Hawaii would just be cool. Perfect weather year-round between 70 and 80. You're on an island, you can experience, like...
Volcanoes, yeah,
You can
pretty
experience
good.
like 10 things because that's the one thing I would say. I feel like Hawaii would be an awesome place to visit. You couldn't pay me to live in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Oh, you
There's
could pay
volcanoes.
me.
Oh, yeah, you could definitely pay me to live in Hawaii.
I know.
I don't know.
That's-
Like,
I could
pay me
easily
to live
bought
there.
to go to
Well,
Hawaii.
I can have a little bit of an anecdote because both of my parents lived in Hawaii for like over 4 years, and
Your parents are boomers. I don't care about their opinion.
well, that's fair. But they weren't boomers when they lived there and had this opinion. So this is when
They've
they
been
still had-
boomers.
this is when they had good opinions when they were, in their 20s, and
That's-
it apparently gets very old very fast because you have the big island, you have some of the smaller ones, but apparently it gets pretty old pretty fast, and the traffic is insanely bad.
I did hear that. I did hear,
If
like,
it's small, I
traffic's
feel
bad.
like you could ride a bike or walk.
Yeah. Weather's nice every day.
Weather's very nice, yeah.
Yeah. Also, on the same realm of, like, I can just be active outside and do stuff every day if I wanted to. Like,
Weather's great when it's not getting slammed by hurricanes.
Crack open
when is there a
coconut?
hurricane? I've never heard of like
Okay,
a hurricane.
Becker. All right.
All right, I'm saying to Hawaii. All right, whatever. So that's my 3: Colorado, Washington,
Hurricanes definitely exist. That's all I'm going to say.
Hawaii. Yeah, that's not what I meant. I meant when do they hit Hawaii?
They don't get hit with hurricanes; they get typhoons.
You know what? Whatever. This is another roast for me.
No,
know what?
I agree. I think
gonna-
Hawaii is a great state.
I'm gonna show a sign of maturity on this podcast, and I won't make a Pearl Harbor reference. I'm better than that, so
Oh.
I think that's a sign of growth for us all.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Thank you for your service.
Thanks, Pate.
No problem. boys.
Officer Pate.
Fun fact: did you know that Pearl Harbor, like the harbor itself, is just filled with hammerhead sharks?
I had no
Yeah,
idea.
that's
Neat.
a thing.
Wow.
Yeah, that is
Just
interesting.
chalk to the
had no
brim with
idea.
hammerhead sharks.
Very insightful.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So
very
that's-
swag. I like it.
Okay. Zach, you want to hit us
Yeah.
with your worst states, please?
I was just gonna say.
Let's get to the meat and potatoes.
The one thing.
Shout out
it's easy
James
to
White.
talk about, it's easy to talk about things places we like, but when you go to a place and you just don't like it, really strikes a chord. And I've got some bottom threes for you, starting with number one. In my no particular order, but it's definitely towards the bottom. It's my bottom three. Is North Dakota. I'm sorry, Fenner, and I don't think you'll have a problem with me doing what I'm about to do.
But I do!
Oh,
What? You're
Go ahead.
okay,
Go ahead.
you can
Go
rebuttal
ahead.
after.
I have never been to North Dakota, and I have
Oh,
no
wow.
ambition to touch foot in that state, unless I'm visiting Fenner. That's a different thing. That's a Fenner thing then. But take Fenner out of the equation. There is no reason for anyone to step foot in that flat, dead space.
You don't like grass?
No. I can get
Okay.
grass in Wisconsin. I can get it anywhere.
All right.
It is just... And you want to know why the license plate in North Dakota, why it's just a flat land with a sunset? Because that's all there is. That's what defines that fucking state. And it makes me more mad that one of my friends is living out there. I want to save him. Saving Private Firmer from North Dakota. A fucking waste of a place. Just sad. I'm like, your winters sound worse than ours. I don't see a silver lining, and North Dakota was it was the first one on my list. I don't know. You have any thoughts, Fenner, before I move on?
I can't say I didn't expect this. I honestly expected this from Pate more than I expected it from you,
hold
Zach.
up.
Yeah,
No,
we'll
it's not on my bottom.
till
It's a spoiler alert, but
Okay.
it may not be on my bottom three, but it sure shit ain't on my top three.
I'll be honest with you. North Dakota, it's not great.
Yeah.
But it there's no reason it needs to be in the bottom three. These people out here did nothing to deserve that. Everybody
Well, it's
out
not
here
the
just
people.
minds their own business. Okay, well, if it's not the people...
It's not the people.
That's fair. We aren't
I'm
talking
sure
about
it's great
the
people.
They get to
But-
go to work like 40% of the time because the roads
Yeah,
are always
yeah.
closed because it's like 50 miles an hour of wind because it's
That's
nothing but flat
that's the
land
one
for
thing
1,000
that I
square
do
miles.
complain about a lot, right? Is it's super windy, but to be fair, you get used to it like relatively quickly. It's like 20-mile-an-hour winds out here is like no wind back in Wisconsin.
Jesus.
Oh my god.
But in the summertime, it's super nice because there's always a nice breeze when it's 95 degrees out.
Give me the
You know?
95.
It's in my
worth
bottom
it.
three. Yeah.
And it's not humid. It's not humid heat either. So it's like a dry sort of heat
dry
because
heat.
there is no body of water, which I now feel like I'm making the case against North Dakota. But,
They got some
Yeah.
rivers.
Yeah.
well,
Do they?
maybe in
Got
some
like,
spots.
streams.
Yeah.
It's just a sad.
Not really
creek
by
that's
me.
been polluted by the pipeline going through it.
Yeah. But yeah, I had
North
to
Dakota,
put-
not all that bad.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
not good.
yeah.
Not all that bad.
So my next two are spicy. That was the easy one that I don't think many people are going to be too upset about. Number two, I have Illinois. I am sorry, my brothers below us. I am very sorry, and I know this probably makes some people
brothers
angry.
below us.
Illinois. Oh
What?
man, where do I begin with this one? So first off, I'm going to attack Chicago because we need to talk. Because the first one's, wow, don't you like? You've been talking about cities. What about Chicago? I don't care for Chicago. It's not my cup of tea, I guess. I don't think it's as hyped up as people from Chicago make it feel like. It's just another city. I don't think it has a ton of. I know this makes a lot of people angry. I don't think that there's a ton of like personality there. It's too big for me, honestly.
Have you
It's
been
a
to
really
the
big-
aquarium?
I have, and I don't care.
The aquarium's cool.
I would love to go
I'll
to the
give you that.
aquarium.
I'll give you that. It does not save the attractions. Do not save my opinions from Chicago. It's just when I'm there.
But the bean, Zach, the bean.
the bean. can go fuck itself. I don't
What
care.
is the point of that thing? Is it just like
It's
an art piece?
It's
Okay,
art.
I didn't
It's
know if
a-
it had any.
Yeah.
I didn't know if it had
It's
any
a bean.
cultural or historical significance.
The bean.
In fact, it's a big fucking bean.
We talking beans?
But unlike my argument for North Dakota, a lot of my problems with Chicago come with the people from Chicago. People who are from Chicago and come up to Wisconsin will tell you right away, I'm from Chicago. We do it better in the city. The city, my city, the Chicago, my city. There's just some weird, obnoxious entitlement that they carry with them. And that's fine. I get it. Like, obviously, I gush about Milwaukee. I totally get that. But it's also coming from people who live an hour away from Chicago. You don't live in Chicago. You live in Schaumburg. It's
Relatable.
just, I really do not like Chicago. I don't think it's all that great. A lot of also rival sports teams there can't handle that. They also suck at sports. So, also moving on, that's just Chicago. Illinois. Can anyone really name anything else about Illinois except for Chicago? Does it have an identity outside of Chicago? No.
Champaign.
It doesn't.
Springfield.
Yeah, I don't care.
Peoria,
Wow,
Rockford.
cool. Aurora.
Name one thing about Peoria or Rockford.
Rockford has an extremely high crime rate, I believe.
Pretty good.
Wow.
Well, there we go. So yeah, I do not like Illinois. I really don't like Illinois. Maybe it's just a rivalry thing, but I don't have a problem with.
Have you ever driven through Illinois
Oh,
to get to? It sucks.
Yeah,
Driving
it
through
sucks.
Illinois is awful. It's
It might
just
as well be
flat
Indiana.
land.
Yeah.
It's so boring. It's
Yep.
it's the worst. I wanna. I don't know. I just can't.
Yeah.
I can't drive through it. It's the worst experience. I'd rather drive through Iowa than drive through Illinois. I'll say that.
Oh shit! Wow, I don't know. That's a. I'll find
At least
out
in
when we
Iowa,
go.
you get some corn.
Okay.
Yeah,
Some
there's,
animals?
there's literally nothing in Illinois that you can look at.
Yep.
It's just pure flat. Like there's nothing else to it.
Yep. Like I
Oh
said,
boy, would you hate North Dakota?
without Chicago, they would just be Indiana too. Anyways, I'm gonna move on. I had to get that. The hottest take of them all, the one that a lot of people will disagree with, but hear me out. Number 3, I've got California. Wow, Zach, why would you say that's about such a great state? Well, I've got a couple reasons.
All them liberals.
No. I like a lot of things. I'm sure.
Too many billionaires.
Also, I have
there.
not been to California. I would love to. I'm sure it's great for a little vacation.
But
I'd like
I
to
hate
see
it.
LA. There's a lot of cool things in California. A lot of cool things. Great weather on the ocean. I'm sure the hype is for a reason. But as someone who lives in Wisconsin and is very passionate about how much they enjoy Wisconsin,
Oh no.
everyone. Oh, I can't wait to get out of this shithole and go to LA. Fuck off, okay? Really? It's the ultimate. It's the ultimate. Like, oh, I gotta move somewhere warm. I'm going to California. Like, that's fine. If you don't fuck with the winter, whatever, fine. But there's just something about this whole, like, it has to be California. It's almost like there's no other states that have warmer weather.
I want to just interject and one thing to agree with my California hate. So I always hated sweaters, like those like North Face like sweater vest things that people would put over like those puffy
Yeah.
vests.
Oh, yeah.
And that all started because a bunch of nerds who worked in Silicon Valley kept wearing those, and then it just took off in California. And once it takes off in California, which is, you know, the cultural zeitgeist of the United States and pretty much the world,
Yep.
then it becomes a thing everywhere. And all of a sudden, for like in like the past 5-10 years, you just had a bunch of like accountants and tech and finance people wear nothing but these nylon puff sweater vests over all of their clothing. And that is the worst, the ugliest fashion thing that is ever, that I can at least remember, been implemented. And that's all thanks to California and their quote unquote trendy citizens.
Took the words out of my mouth.
I know, you
Could
were
not
just
have
about to
said
get
it
to that
better.
same point.
But I think you're onto something too. Like this whole idea that every trend, it's the similar like idea where it's like, oh, California, this is where everything is centralized here. We, LA, the city. It's just something I don't care for. I'm sure it is fantastic to live there, without a doubt. But I don't care. And this is my list, so I get to put California in the bottom 3. So fuck you. That's all I have.
Okay.
All right, before Kyle says his bottom, this is the correct list once again. You can't argue with him. This is law.
You can feel free to argue.
But nope, this is the definitive list.
No, I welcome you arguing. I want you to.
But my opinion's going to be wrong regardless of what you say. Because you have the definitive list. So
Your
continue.
words, not mine. Anyways, so I will continue, since it is correct. Good luck arguing this one, boys, because number 1 is Florida. Fuck Florida. Florida is one of the worst states. It is filled with nothing but 60-plus-year-olds who want to spend all of their retirement in a muggy, disgusting tumor that exists off the United States. I have a fun fact. Besides just the fact I hate it so much, it actually has a significance to the rest of the United States and how much it sucks, because every single election except 3 since 1928 have been decided by Florida.
Oh, way to get political.
So, I'll get political. I have absolutely no issue. Feel free to check out our other podcasts.
Welcome to the Politics Cast.
So we're having a bunch of 60-plus-year-olds decide the future of the nation every single damn time, when they won't even be alive for the next 5 years to find out what the fuck happens. I am so sick and tired of Florida. It's filled with a bunch of boomers, and also, they need to wear a jacket when it gets below 60 degrees. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
What a joke of a state.
And they have alligators.
Yeah, they have alligators.
That's a negative.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
Okay.
But a positive, one thing I do like about Florida, I think Disney World's great.
And no state income
Never
And
tax.
that's
been.
another thing against California. Disneyland sucks compared to World. Anyways, continue about Florida.
No,
Disney
please,
World's cool.
please actually continue this debate. I'd like to know more.
About what?
Disney World versus Disneyland.
Well, I've never been to Disneyland, but I know Disney World is very cool, and Disneyland does not have as many cool things. So
Okay, no, preach. It's also very expensive, and it's for the top 1% who get to go to Disney World. Unbelievable. It's very expensive for the average family of 4.
it is.
So yeah, Florida stinks.
What about
Absolutely
Universal
stinks.
Studios?
Fuck Universal Studios.
Okay.
And no
I've
state
never been
income
there.
tax.
I always wanted to.
Where
go
is
to.
it?
I have no idea. Orlando?
No, it's in Florida. That's my point.
Oh.
Before I go on to my next 2, this was a late addition. Becker actually brought it up, and it made me rekindle some of my old hatred. So I'm going to throw in an honorable mention, and that is Iowa. I want to make that very clear. It didn't make the top 3,
Iowa.
but boy, it has an ass kicking coming, because if you ever drive through that state the long way, you will experience not hell, but absolute purgatory for about 5 to 6 hours. It is nothing but corn and flat land as far as the eye can see. What a disaster of a state.
I have an argument for that.
Yeah.
Brian Bulaga.
Iowa.
That's my argument.
Yeah.
There you go.
Also,
That's why it's an on.
you know what? I just thought of this off the cuff. They also have way too much of an important role in presidential elections, because why in God's name do we kick off and get all of the momentum and the ball rolling by a caucus held in fucking Iowa?
Didn't they
Get
flip a
outta
coin
here.
to decide who got a caucus or whatever
pretty-
the hell it is?
What was that?
Didn't they flip a coin
Probably. It's
at one of
fucking
the Iowa
Iowa.
caucuses? Yeah.
Like, it's a stupid state where it makes up its own rules. I want to have the caucus cast one of these days, because I think that's... Tune in for the next complaint cast, because caucuses and that system have a whole ass kicking coming. Now,
Did you know, though, that Iowa was the first state to legalize gay marriage?
that is shocking to me.
It's beyond shocking.
Yeah.
I can't believe a
No
state
idea.
that once voted for Mike Huckabee to be its presidential candidate thought they wanted gay marriage. That's shocking to me. But moving on. So my number 2 is Massachusetts. Now, you might be thinking, oh, Kyle, it has such a history, and that's great. It's all well and good.
Oh, no.
But this is mostly because of Boston. I don't care. It has nothing to do with the city. The city might be great. I don't care. But my goodness, do I hate its sports teams and do I hate its fans. That is the most entitled fan base. And for what? Are you fucking kidding me? Every one of the accomplishments that they're proud of are based on what has either happened like 50 to 100 years ago, where Bill Russell just happened to be taller than everybody, so they won a bunch of NBA championships. They won a World Series in, like, I don't know, the early 1900s, and they have had recent success. I don't hate the Red Sox as much as I hate the Celtics and as much as I hate the New England Patriots, because outside of the last 15 years, New England is a dirtbag franchise that has done nothing before Tom Brady. That has been a joke of a franchise. And where were the fans then? Nowhere to be found. Were they really kicking the tires for Drew Bledsoe? Were they really getting rowdy? Absolutely not. All they care about is if the team is doing well, then they'll be showing up. I can't wait until 2 to 3 years from now when that team finally gets what's coming and those fans will leave that fucking stadium faster than you can ever believe. Also, Robert Kraft is a piece of shit. Thoughts?
I like the city of
because of
Boston.
hand jobs or what?
Yes, because he pays for Asian massage parlor hand jobs. Yeah.
Agree to disagree.
No.
Keep it real,
Get yours,
G-C.
Al. Get yours.
No. I agree with everything you said. Not Fenner, Kyle.
Better, great points.
Yeah. I like Boston. Boston's a cool city. But I get it. I agree.
And that extends to the greater New England area. So, yeah, Delaware can go fuck itself,
Maine,
too.
you're out of here.
Yeah.
Not Vermont. Not my sweet, precious Vermont.
I actually, now that I brought it up, Maine is actually a pretty nice state, too.
Okay.
They've never made anybody angry.
No,
Nope,
they
but
just.
they sure never did anything to make me smile. All right, and now my last one. I think this is something we can all rally around. I fucking hate Minnesota.
Okay.
It is just nothing but boneless Wisconsin. All of their sports team. I know I'm bringing up.
Have you
sports
heard
a
of the
lot.
lakes?
Oh, I got some. Oh, I'll be bringing up the lakes.
Land of
Do not
10,000 lakes.
worry. So, they're bringing my arguments out for me. This is beautiful. But before I talk about that, all of their sports teams having this big rivalry with a bunch of the Wisconsin teams. It is an absolute laugher. It's a joke. None of their sports teams have done a damn thing, but yet they want to act like this is some equal rivalry when it's more like, no, they're just kind of the annoying little brother that wants to keep pestering us. But it's like, yeah, you can have our hand-me-downs when we're done with them, specifically, between the Packers and Vikings. They can have all that, but you are the little brother. We're the big boys. We got the MVPs.
Yep.
We got the championships. I'm so sick of that. Also, you brought up the lakes. I'd love to talk about the lakes because that is false fucking advertising. What do they claim? To be the land of 10,000 lakes?
Yeah.
Yep.
Did you know that they actually have 11,842 lakes? Why are they lying?
Okay. Yeah.
It doesn't say the land of 10,000 plus lakes.
Yeah, it says 10,000 exactly.
Yeah. So they're full of shit from their license plate. It is. And also, while we're comparing dick sizes in lakes, they actually have 3,000 less than Wisconsin, which has over 15,000 lakes. You don't see us bragging about it, do you?
Yeah.
Makes you think.
True.
Yeah.
They have nothing that is better than Wisconsin. An absolutely worthless, bottom-of-the-barrel trash state.
Is Minneapolis a boneless Milwaukee?
Minneapolis is a boneless St. Paul.
Shit.
Is right next to Minneapolis.
Yeah.
But I do have one thing to
Yes.
bring up.
Oh, I didn't
have
know that.
one
Thank
issue.
you.
I have one issue with what you said. You said all of their organizations are like rivals. Sports organizations are rivals.
I do want to bring up a
Wisconsin.
caveat.
It's
I actually.
only the Vikings.
Yeah.
The Twins are in the AL. The Timberwolves
I
are in
get
the Western
that.
Conference. I don't see any Minnesota Timberwolves fans coming at Milwaukee. I don't see any Twins fans coming at the Brewers.
That's because the Timberwolves haven't been good enough.
Well, and even then, when we were both in our like rebuilding early phases, there was still a lot of like, I feel like, back and forth between who had the brighter future.
Mm-hmm. Especially
so there was
with the
still a little something.
Wiggins, Jabari Parker.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there was something there.
But I actually do like the Twins. I will say that. I don't mind the Twins at all.
I don't mind the Timberwolves. I like Karl
fuck
Anthony
the
Towns,
Timberwolves.
but yeah, fucking yeah.
I don't mind the T-Wolves. I like Cat. I like D'Angelo Russell.
I like
Oh,
him.
yeah,
I like him now more than I did like 2 months ago, but that's not saying much.
Yeah.
So yeah, to give a little recap, I know it was a little long-winded. I have Florida, Massachusetts, Minnesota, and an honorable mention of Iowa for my bottom states.
It's fair.
The definitive, according to Jake Becker.
According to Jake
Yep,
Becker.
according to me.
He's got the same list.
He must.
Yeah.
So I think I'm up next.
Oh,
mine,
yeah.
I don't think will be as long-winded as Kyle's or Zach's was. I have a hard
need a
time
cig after
deciding. I had a hard time deciding between my bottom 3 states because I generally like most places I go. I can find something good everywhere I go. That being said, number 1, Alabama.
Okay.
Yep.
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 Yeah.
That was close to mine.
Never been there. The stories I hear of it, not good. But the biggest thing that pushed me over the edge, they have a law that states it's illegal to wrestle bears.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a good point.
If some moron wants to wrestle a damn bear, let him.
Yeah.
One less idiot I got to deal with. One less idiot from Alabama I got to deal with.
Plus,
I don't hate it.
Plus, it contributes to society. I think entertainment value.
It's just the
You can't tell me
Could you
that's not
imagine?
art.
Could you imagine? I would much rather pay $70 for a pay-per-view of some idiot from Alabama fighting a goddamn bear than watch like an undercard of some boxing match or whatever the hell that
I
means.
just think it's funny that like state legislature of Alabama's like, man, we have to do something about these people wrestling bears. Like, what
simply
what
won't
can we
stop.
do? They just won't stop fighting these bears.
The guy walks in. We got another one.
No.
Not
Good
again.
old boys. It's bear wrestling night.
Yeah.
But Pa, every night's bear wrestling night.
You gotta
Did I
prove,
stutter, boy?
you gotta prove you're a man.
You gonna keep going. You gonna get licked at the whipping post, boy.
Oh my god. Oh man.
Also, another point in the negative column for Alabama. They voted for Joe Biden, and that's because he mixed up his wife for his sister.
Tasteful.
Oh man.
This is not the political cast, but I completely agree. Alabama stinks.
Yeah.
Something we can all rally behind.
This is my wife. This is my sister. Oh, you switched on me.
Oh, kill me, please.
You guys saw the video of Joe Biden sniffing a baby, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Not a fan. Not a
He
fan.
got
of Joe
right up
Biden
in
Joe
one
there.
bit.
Biden, nasty
man.
guy.
Okay, anyway, on to my number 2. This may be a little controversial, but I have Arizona.
Ooh.
I don't think that's controversial.
It's a dry heat.
No?
It's a dry heat fetter.
It is
Come
a
on.
dry heat, yeah. But along the same reasoning I had for Alabama, it is illegal to promote the use of or own more than 6 dildos. Now,
That's
Is that a problem? Is that a problem
I'm
for you?
unfair.
it's not a problem for me, but I think I'm speaking for everybody on the podcast when I say
Speak for yourself.
all 4 of us are very pro-sex. Whatever you want to do, go ahead
I
and do
said,
it.
Easy.
I said,
fetter.
speak for yourself.
Now you can speak for me, Al. You're sounding good so
Yeah.
far.
Yeah.
None of that around
As
here.
long,
None
as
of-
long as it's in the within the realms of like being okay, which if you have
Nope.
6 dildos, sounds good to me. I
This
don't
is-
care.
This
Hey,
is the
do
Farmcast,
you.
not the Coitus cast.
Okay. I think this also isn't the
But we could
celibate
become
cast.
the quickest cast real
Yeah.
You say the word. Fans, fellas, if you want to see the Coitus cast, leave a 5-star review. Tell us.
know.
Let us know your favorite coitus.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, no, I think that's bullshit. I think it's bullshit. So,
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
yeah. Sorry, my computer screen shut off. But I'm back now. So,
Welcome back.
number 3, Kyle already mentioned it. Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I have never been to Florida. I was too poor to go on the expensive vacations Zack was able to afford.
I never said I went to Disney World.
Anyways,
I went
Hey,
to
check your privilege, Zach. Like man, you had your time. 1%er Zach,
easy.
but it's time for the rest of us.
Man.
I am going to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the state other than the fact that old people go there to retire. There's sports teams, which I'm not a fan of any of them. And I see a lot of news headlines out of Florida, and it just scares me. It's not a place I would like to be.
Florida, man.
Let me tell you that what's even worse than
Hee-hee-ha.
those actual stories. Everybody's saying local Florida
Yeah.
man does X thing. That's crazy. Like, and the
Florida
bath
man's
salts, fake news stories. They've kind of ran their course.
Yeah. Florida man meme is dead.
I mean, you could probably do that.
And that's my bottom 3.
A strong list.
All right,
Yeah.
so I'll get into my bottom 3. So I'm starting
I
off.
like them all.
I'm starting off with
What'd you say?
Continue, Becker.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to anymore. All right.
Can I
fine.
predict one?
Sure.
Alaska.
Nope. I actually wouldn't mind going to Alaska. That sounds like a pretty
Alaska
cool state.
seems pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Regardless, bottom 3. Number 1, I'm going with Arkansas. I'm going. This might be a little controversial.
What, you don't like the Little Rock 9?
He just
Let
hates
me
Bill
explain. I
Becker
don't.
hates him.
I don't think Arkansas exists. I've never met anyone from Arkansas. I think it's just a place on the map. I don't think it's real. I think it's just like a placeholder value for like some empty land in the U.S. Little Rock 9, I'm glad you brought that up. I believe that event did happen, and that whole piece of
Okay,
history
thank
did
God.
happen. However, it was in a different location in the United States, and that history was recreated to put history in Arkansas to make people believe that
The
Arkansas is a
conspiracy
real
cast
state.
was last week.
Well, this isn't conspiracy. These are just facts.
Holy shit.
So, Arkansas, I don't believe is real. I've never met anyone from Arkansas, never talked to anyone who visited Arkansas. I think it's just like an extension of Missouri. I think it's just like an empty piece of land that's just unclaimed by anyone in the States. So, yeah, I don't like Arkansas. Don't believe in it.
I guess I don't know anyone from Arkansas either.
Yeah, see? You don't know anyone from Arkansas.
It might just be such a good state, nobody leaves.
I'm glad to doubt that.
Outside of like the Clintons, I can't tell you one single thing about Arkansas, and they're more New York than anything.
I don't even think they're from Arkansas. Because it's not
I'd
real.
buy that.
All right, so number 2, I share bottom result with Al with Arizona. I don't care that you say it's a dry heat. Hot's hot. I'm gonna sweat regardless. Like if any season, they don't even have seasons. They just have hot, hotter, hottest, and hot. Like I'm just gonna sweat. I sweat all the time. There's no redeeming quality about Arizona.
Can confirm.
Well, one thing that I forgot to bring up when Fenner also said it, Arizona iced tea.
No.
I don't
It's a
think
great
No.
beverage.
I don't know if that's made in Arizona. I'll look that up real quick.
It's a fantastic
If it's made in
beverage.
Arizona, it's one redeeming quality Arizona has. However, it's just a desert. It's just one big desert. There's Phoenix, but there's nothing cool about Phoenix. It's just hot. There's nothing appealing
Arizona
to Arizona.
iced tea is the most overrated beverage I can think of.
Oh shit!
Breaking news.
Zack is mad.
Oh man.
Arizona Beverages USA, stylized
That's
as Arizona, is an American producer of many flavored iced tea drinks located in New York.
Okay. I'm cool with that. Then yeah.
So yeah,
fuck
so
Arizona.
then Arizona stinks. Too hot. Can't do anything. Even in the summer, it's like
Can't even
120
make their own
degrees.
iced tea.
Yeah, I can't even make their own iced tea.
Write this down
So
for the
Arizona
podcast.
stinks. Some people might like spring baseball time. Sure. Yeah, I guess. That's not going to do it for me. So yeah, Arizona stinks. And then third on the list is Indiana. I think Indiana is one of the grossest states, one of the most backwards states I've ever been to.
Explain.
I had to drive through Indiana for a rugby tournament. And
And the roads just seemed all turned around.
we had to stop at this gas station because we were running low on gas. And the gas station just looked barren. Like, no one was there. The sign was all rusted over. Like, half the sign was missing. And I went to go out in the bathroom. And there was no mirror on the wall in the bathroom. They just had, like, reflective...
I wish there were more bathrooms like that, to be honest.
They had reflective tape on the tiles for a mirror, and half them were just ripped off. The whole thing looked run down, and
What city were you in?
I don't know. That's the thing.
I was gonna say I know one city in Indiana, two cities in Indiana. One of them being Gary, and I've heard it's not a great place.
Nope.
No,
not good.
I have a small anecdote, not to get too heavy about Gary, Indiana, but one of my friends is he's a basketball coach, and turns out Gary, Indiana doesn't really like black people very much. Apparently, this is apparently.
Jesus Christ.
Well, all they did was get a hotel room, went out for a couple drinks, and they went back. And by the time they got back, they had received about 4 to 5 noise complaint calls, even though they weren't even there.
This guy was a black guy, I assume.
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, and they were not kind to him there. That's
So-
for sure. Not great.
Expresses my point even further. Also, Indiana's split down the middle in, like, their time zone. So half the state's in one time zone, they have the states in another time zone, which is just
Really? I didn't.
absolutely
Okay.
absolutely barbaric. Like, why would
What
you
if-
even decide to split your state in half? Just put it in one time zone. Who cares? Not split it in half. That's so confusing.
I had no idea it was split like that.
Yeah.
I learned that playing a trivia game with Becker.
Time zones in general, I don't like them.
I'm with you.
Go
Yeah.
on.
They should all be the central time zone because that's the best time zone.
That's
Couldn't
true.
agree more.
Yeah.
I agree.
But yeah, Indiana also sucks driving through. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have against Indiana.
One thing I have to counter against Indiana
Nothing.
is that's where I got all three of my dogs, and they're pretty good dogs.
Okay.
Okay, dogs from any state are going to be good dogs. Yeah.
This is just landmarks and people we're more complaining about.
Yeah, dogs are completely
Just saying.
unrelated.
That was the one counterpoint I had to Indiana. My dogs,
Fuck, you aren't kidding
I like
about
them.
that Indiana being. I had no idea.
Would you think it was a joke?
Well, I thought maybe you were. I had to fact check this. Okay.
And it's not even right down the middle. It's like two pockets.
Yeah.
that are- Oh, that's ugly.
Yeah, stupid.
Tennessee
The
and Kentucky
stupidest
are the same
thing.
way.
I had no idea about that either.
Yeah, so my bottom three.
Well, so some of it's in the central time zone, some of it's in the eastern time
Yep.
zone. Wow.
Stupid. Very stupid.
Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah, so
It's-
If you live like on the line, that's got to be the most.
It's got to be hell.
oh, it's got to be the
Oh,
worst.
Could you imagine like living in one side and working in the other side?
Oh, I would
I don't
hate
even know how
that.
you'd
You can
manage.
play around with
Oh, that'd be terrible.
it. Yeah.
Your phone switches every time you go back home. You think you got an extra hour, but you lose an hour. My God,
I guess you just get used to it.
Gross.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
good-
feel
good
like
call.
that's something I could never
Yeah.
get
State.
used to.
Yeah, that was a
yeah.
good
Indiana stinks.
You want to give us a recap?
Yeah, so bottom three: Arizona, Indiana, and the non-existent Arkansas.
one. Yep, not real. Well, that one doesn't count. So, surprised no one had Alaska. I thought someone would have Alaska.
I don't mind
On the
Alaska.
bottom three?
Alaska.
Okay.
I think Alaska would be cool.
Yeah, Alaska's kind of cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I love having 2 hours of daylight.
Hey, not in the
But
summer.
then also,
19 hours.
sometimes you get 19 hours
Yeah.
a day.
That's
yeah.
not good either. That sucks.
No, that's kind of cool.
It's pretty sick.
Well,
Get some
what?
blackout shades for when you got to sleep. That's it.
Fair enough.
Get a little
Well,
eye
we can
mask.
all agree. We can all agree the worst state is North Dakota, and I'm glad we came to this conclusion.
Took us a while, but we finally got
Yep.
there.
But that does it for us here at the Farmcast. If you want to hear us rant a little bit more about shit like this and make more lists, make sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple Music, along with SoundCloud and YouTube, and also on Twitter and Instagram at the Farmcast Pod. Check us out there. We've got some good content on all of those platforms. And yeah, stay tuned because it sounds like Kyle and I are going to get into a heated Arizona iced tea debate soon coming down the line here. And yeah, that does it from us. Thank you for listening. Have a good day. Bye.
Got him. Got him.
I got the top out the club. She like to hang out the road. She like to fight with the crew. Say yeah, money me too. All of my hunters they blue. And I just fix my shoes. My nigga winning, you lose. I Gucci, Lloyd, Versace. Stupid booty, she pop it. I'm tryna call me a Rari. How about that bitch and get rowdy? I'm tryna make me a profit. These niggas hating, just stop it. All of these bitches be flocking. Look at the diamonds I'm rocking. Look at the diamonds I'm rocking, they bite. I fuck with Gucci, I don't like the mics. I like to lean with the Sprite and the ice. Don't come to me if you don't like the price. Pull up and hop out the Bentley. Fuck that, I just want to come up and call me a race. She want a nigga to fuck every day. Bitch, look at my face, you know you gotta pay. Bitch, look at my eyes. Walking that bitch like surprise. These niggas hate in disguise. But bitch, I'ma try till I die. Cause I got the Mac in the ride, the Mac on the side. The nigga, you will not survive. New Rollie, I can't see the time. Look at the diamonds, they blind. Yeah, bitch, don't call my phone, leave me alone. I be in my zone. I be smoking strong. Lane to the
Follow me.
I run that V-Long. Bitch, all of my line, I don't want. I'm just tryna run up the commas. I got the top out the club. She like to hang out the road. She like to fight with the crew. Say yeah, money me too. All of my hunters they blue. And I just fix my shoes. My nigga winning, you lose. I Gucci, Lloyd, Versace. Stupid booty, she pop it. I'm tryna call me a Rari. How about that bitch and get rowdy? I'm tryna make me a profit. These niggas hating, just stop it. All of these bitches be flocking. Look at the diamonds I'm rocking. Hop in that cool with the top on. Come through, I'm dripping that hot. I got the choppers in my home. I like to travel like 3 phones. Come through, I'm rocking that V-Long. I don't want the bitch like V-Gone. When she went through my phone, I'm like, she wrong. Cause I like the Lloyd. And I like to switch up Givenchy and Gucci. I don't fuck with Gucci. I take your bitch and I feel on the coach. Yeah, I took his bitch. Fuck how I'm walking, just look at the cash. Don't look at the fed. Glizzy on me, why I walk with a lamp. Yeah, she say I'm on her mind, ain't got time. I be on my grind. Bitch, put me a line. Drink it till I'm blind. Hoping I don't die. Bitch, I just be sipping on grain. I just want all of the lane. I got the top out the club. She like to hang out the road. She like to fuck with the crew. Say yeah, money me too. All of my hunters they blue. And I just fix my shoes. My nigga winning, you lose. I Gucci, Lloyd, Versace. Stupid booty, she pop it. I'm tryna call me a Rari. How about that bitch and get rowdy? I'm tryna make me a profit.